This video is going to be all about B12 and also protein on a plant-based diet. By the ending of this video, you're going to learn how to get your protein and also how to go about this whole B12 thing, right? So what I want to simply just tell you guys is a little background about me. My name is Tropical J on the interweb, Instagram, Facebook, and also my website is tropicalj.net. If you need any help with going, high raw vegan, losing weight, getting fit, by all means, inquire on my website, or if not, somehow, some way, find my email, and we can take things from there. But from someone who has been doing this for the past 9 years, on a journey of eating only plants for 9 years, and also who has traveled outside of America to indigenous, communities, like actually in the bush, and seen these communities engage, with people who can speak their language and also speak like English, right? Like a translator. Protein is never a conversation. Like, it's never a conversation, And also I've been to these places called like blue zones, right? Which pretty much just lets you know that like in these areas, it's where people like live to easily be like 100 years old, okay? So I'm just saying this so that way I believe my opinion is very much so valid, because it's not just something I looked up on the internet and that's that. It's that, plus also I have not only my own personal experience, but also I have the experience of being in communities and places on the planet where people don't worry about protein, okay? And I've seen how they eat, all right? So, protein, right? I made a video about it. I'll probably play it right now. It's a reel from my Instagram. I've talked about this before. I never worry about protein, but I'll play it right now if I have it. And let me sip this lemon juice while that plays. Now, so when it comes to protein, right? I want you guys to look. When it comes to protein, it's okay. I get it. We've been told meat, cheese, animal products, that's your protein. You need enough protein. It's the building blocks of life. Protein, 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 protein. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to worry about protein from someone who is athletic and also someone that has built muscle, right? And stays fit and barely worries about his diet. I've got enough protein for sure. And you can look this up too on Google. Fact check me, because we all are researchers, independent researchers at this point. But go ahead and fact check me. But like if you go and Google what is a protein molecule, you'll find out that it says the protein molecule is called a polypeptide chain, okay? You get a polypeptide chain when you eat an abundance of plants, and also all plants have protein, okay? And also too, the thing about, so this right here, this is a bag of lentils. This is a complete source of protein. The reason why that is because it contains all 9 essential amino acids, right? All 9 essential amino acids, there is essentially a complete source of protein, right? If you eat something like a lettuce, it may not have all 9, but it has amino acids, which will make it like it has protein, So just not the same amount versus the lentils, okay? However, if you eat in abundance, a very diverse diet, you will get your protein. This isn't rocket science. I'm just keeping the stack with you, right? So yeah, and also quinoa. There are certain complete sources of protein that you should aim to get in a day, every day, just so that way you make sure that you're getting sufficient amounts of protein. And also you have a very diverse approach to protein on a plant-based diet, so that way you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, plants have something called amino acids. You don't go to the plants for protein, you go to the plants for amino acids, because when those amino acids come into the body and go through the process, they form something called a polypeptide chain. That there is your protein molecule. then when you have that protein molecule, that is your protein, period. Protein is essentially amino acids. If you want your protein, just eat amino acids. And you get your amino acids from all kinds of fruits, all kinds of plant foods. Doesn't matter, you know? So that's that about protein. Now B12, right? B12 is essentially just a bacteria, okay? The reason why we have issues with B12 today in this world is because we are heavily disconnected from the land. And also we have, our agriculture system is just trash at this point. Like it's we need some dirt on the potatoes. Do not be afraid of the dirt, the little dirt on your potatoes or on your mushrooms. It is okay to not wash your vegetables like all the time. It's okay. And I never needed B12. I never had any kind of crazy accidents, or I never focused on B12. And then when I did the research on B12 actually is a bacteria, like I said, right? And also too, B12 is actually formed naturally within the gut, okay? But here's the thing. And also too, you can get B12 just from being in the dirt, grounding, like barefoot. It's a bacteria. It's not like something that's in the food. It's something that's on the food. You see what I'm saying? So this is why it's important to get into gardening, right? Because your hands are constantly in the soil, right? And you're around nature. This is why it's so important for human beings to be connected to nature. This is why it's so important to live tropical lifestyles. So that way you can be embraced into nature, a part of nature. You are not separate from nature. The more you disconnect from nature, the more you realize you need nature. You see? So, yeah, it is a bacteria. We naturally produce B12, especially if we are eating a wide, diverse diet, okay? And also too, I don't believe in getting any of the B12 supplements like on the market at all, period. Trash, okay? And I never did it. You don't need to. And it's also not as much of a necessity as people think. And you don't need as much as what people think as well. I've never had to get it, and I'm athletic, right? I do a hard job, right? I mean, I still have muscle. You see? I'm fit, you see? I can do muscle ups, I can do pull-ups, I can do all of that stuff. I can work a trade as an HVAC technician. I can do hard labor kind of jobs, right? And I can also not only do that, but I can run for long periods of time. You know, my endurance is pretty good. Cognitive function is still there. Like B12 is really something that I think we all should really not care too much about, because it really is not much of a necessity as what the media makes it seem to be. Period. Now, in rare situations, yeah, sure, some people may be deficient, and at that point, yeah, sure, you need to get into nature, right? You need to maybe supplement, right? But for the average adult, you really just need to change your diet. Just like that. So with that being said, like the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's my spill on B12 and also protein. I never worry about protein, okay? Ever. So, and I've been doing this for 9 years and I'm still dead, apparently. Unless this is just my heaven and you guys are collectively experiencing my heaven. You know. But with that being said, like the video, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.